I'm Denise Glenn, Science Supervisor here at Roxbury Schools.
Hi, and I'm Eric Schmidt. I'm the Secondary English Supervisor at Roxbury Schools.
And we're here to talk to you today about skills and knowledge when you go to write your curriculum.
When you go to write your curriculum, you'll see that knowledge and skills are two tables within the curriculum writing template. We're going to tell you a little bit more about what you should consider when creating your curriculum.
So knowledge, what is it? Elements of knowledge, that's basically your content building blocks when you go to write your curriculum. Those are those connections to those essential questions that are going to help you to transfer knowledge from one content area to another and from one unit to another. They're usually straightforward questions, and they are driven directly by your standards and lead to the execution of skills in your classroom.
Skills go hand in hand with knowledge in that it is what we want students to do with that accumulated knowledge that are the skills. These are often informed by standards. Why are they important?
Well, skills and knowledge are the foundations to all your enduring understandings.
They also provide direction for your instruction. Specifically, it helps you in developing your daily learning targets and focus questions.
It connects to the New Jersey Student Learning Standards. And as you can see here, we've given you some examples of knowledge that you can look at on this lesson plan template. And if you see, we've highlighted some of the key vocabulary terms that this particular unit would address, that students would need to know. We would expect them to know prokaryotic cells, eukaryotic cells, membranes, endocytosis. All of these are key element and vocabulary terms that students would be expected to know in the area of knowledge on this lesson template.
This particular unit was about cellular structure and function, so you could see how that knowledge would be really applicable to the particular unit, really important to developing the skills you would need in order to apply that knowledge.
Okay. So as you can see, we have our skills page, and we've highlighted some of the verbs for you because this is really talking about the depth of knowledge and some higher order thinking skills that you would develop with your students in the classroom. Predict, analyze, differentiate, hypothesize. All of those are important skills that you're going to build upon in each unit, and really it transcends across every content area.
So kind of to follow up with what Denise just said, there are important things to keep in mind when designing a curriculum, specifically with knowledge and skills in mind. Knowledge refers to the information that is learned and often includes content-specific terms, as we had seen in the science unit, that are required for understanding.
And then there's skills. What do we want our students to do with the knowledge that they're learning in our classrooms? And it prioritizes higher order thinking skills.
Some other things to keep in mind is that knowledge and skills are continually developed and can be transferred from unit to unit, as these skills and the knowledge, they build off of one another.
And keep in mind that it's not only from unit to unit, but it's from grade to grade and content area to content area. Because if you think about it, the ideal teacher, the ideal educator, we're weaving our curriculums together. And we're building skills across the board.
Another thing to keep in mind is that the quantity of the skills and the knowledge that you put into the curriculum is really going to vary depending on the unit that you are designing. So not every unit is going to require 20 skills or 20 key components of knowledge. It's going to vary. And skills may also transcend standards. By that I mean the New Jersey State standards may not entail every skill that we want students to develop. So for instance, in an English class, we want students to develop the skill of annotation, something that is not clearly delineated in the standards.
And in a math or a science class, you'll often see those standards will cross one another.
What I wanted to do is just kind of show you how you can use a state standard, unpack that standard, and use it to develop knowledge and skill. So here we have an 8th grade standard for reading literature, where it asks to cite the textual evidence and make relevant connections that most strongly support an analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from the text. If you unpack this, you will see that, there they are. If you unpack this, you will see that it's really asking you to do several things. Students are going to be able to cite textual evidence. In addition to citing the evidence, they need to be able to make relevant connections to that evidence. They need to support analysis that they're making using the evidence, and they also need to be able to tell you what a set text says explicitly as well as implicitly. You can use a state standard to really develop a list of the various skills and the knowledge that would be required in order to have students enact that skill. That's all for skills and knowledge.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.